What the hell is up, you fucking cunts? You have tuned into episode 71 of Resident Bummer. Obviously, if you can't tell already, the Fulcrum is back. He's ready for another episode, baby. Anyways, episode 71, of course, is the 72nd episode released on this channel. Excusing the supplemental content, of course. Isn't that so silly, how the episode count is different from the episode number? That's just so wild. It's so crazy. Oh my gosh, I can hardly believe it. We're moving on, though. I'm going to speedrun this episode. I have 9 days of stuff that I have to cover in my journal entries, so we're just going to try and go as fast as possible. Mental health check. I'll give like a 4, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Moving on. Physical health check. Like an 8. 8 sounds good. Motivation check. Like a 7 maybe. Here it is. Here's my favorite part of the intro. I am worthy of consideration. There we go. It's done. It's time to read my journal now. On Thursday, May 28th. Not a Friday this time. We're mixing it up for this episode. Thursday, May 28th. Our first entry is set 71, day 0, 8 p.m. I wake up really early, pack a few more things, and start driving out. Along the way, I see a dude getting handcuffed on the shoulder of the road. That's pretty cool. I also think I'm about to get pulled over at one point because I blew past a cop that was parked in a little bit of a sneaky location along the interstate. I went past him at 12 over, and a little bit down the road, I looked in my mirror and I saw him pull out of his parking spot and start driving down the road, and I was like, oh. I actually don't get pulled over, though, which is nice. I do end up driving all the way to Jack's apartment. I meet him and Charles there, and then we go shopping at Walmart. We pick up some beer, some buns, some chips, etc., all that good stuff. Get back to his apartment, and then we watch the movie Con Air. It's a pretty wild movie. It's very cheesy action. I think it's a pretty popular movie. I think, like, in general, most movie heads would be like, oh, Con Air? I loved Con Air. Or, I'm sure there's people who don't like it, but I don't know. I thought it was a decent movie. By the way, Charles lets me know that his wife that he just married was in the hospital. It's actually why Charles asked her to marry him, because a few months ago, Charles's wife was riding horses with Charles's mom. I hate having to say Charles's. It's the mother of Charles. There you go. They were both, so his wife, well then, at that point, I think they were still girlfriend and boyfriend, or maybe, I don't know. I know that they were involved, though. And his Charles's significant other and Charles's mother, God, I hate saying that word. The possessive version of Charles is not great. Yeah, they're out riding horses. Sorry, I'm all over the fucking place with this story. And while they're riding horses, his significant other gets trampled. Like, falls off the horse and gets trampled. They have to send her to the hospital. Apparently, she took a bit of a beating. That did not sound fun. Yeah, but anyways, he wasn't planning on proposing until, I think, this month or maybe last month. But after that a little incident occurred, Charles was like, "Oh, nope, I gotta marry her immediately while I still have the chance." So they are hooked. That's awesome. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this was, I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially what Charles said, as we were talking about it, he was like, well, I figure that if she died, he would just end up killing himself because he loves her so much. So he should also be willing to marry her. If he's willing to kill himself over her death, he figured in his mind, I guess I should probably just go ahead and marry her then. But anyways, we're moving on. 10:20 p.m. We wait for Chud's flight and load up the Twilight movie. We realize that the Twilight movie is a little bit too long, and Chud's going to enter into the airport like halfway through the movie. So we quickly swap over to the Twilight Zone, which is a TV show. I also make 1 or 2 matches on some dating apps. Unfortunately, nothing came of those. So 12:30 p.m., moving on. After a while, we leave to pick up Chud, and we take off for the lakehouse once we get back to Jack's apartment with Chud in tow. 2:40 a.m., we arrive and chill out on the couch for a while. Also, the 43-year-old cougar, I guess, is what we're referring to her as. That 43-year-old that I had sex with a week or 2 ago, she texts me and she's like, I want your fucking penis. And I was like, I'm sorry, I am not in town, but as soon as I get back, I will be happy to deliver. Yeah, that's about it for that night, I think. Question mark for this entry, I go to bed at some point. Moving on to set 71. Day 1, 11 a.m. I wake up, shit shower. I forget to brush. I also don't bring in a towel to the bathroom with me when I go to shower. So I end up drying off with toilet paper. And I put on my outfit for the day. Head back upstairs to find Jack watching South Park. I sit down in the living room with him and watch. And then Chud gets out of the shower. At 6:50 p.m., we all chill eating scraps of food and trying out the new alcohol that we bought. Eventually when Charles and Chud get up and dressed, eventually Chud and Charles get up and dressed. Then we take off to grab fishing licenses for Chud and Charles. I think Jack already has his fishing license, or maybe not, I don't know. We park, head in, and Chud finds an Epic Wolf t-shirt, like some wolf graphics on the front. It's like 5 or 6 different wolves on the shirt. It's pretty dope. Not gonna lie, badass shirt. We both grab one of the shirts, so we are now Wolf Bros forever. I also opt out of grabbing my fishing license. I decide that I will be the camera guy. We head over to the restaurant that's connected to the fishing license store, I guess, and we buy a pizza. Charles believes initially that they screwed us, and he demands to see the pepperoni underneath. It's hiding underneath the cheese. He finds it, and he is sated. He sits down and eats without any further altercation. Then we eventually head back to the lake house and we get ready to fish. Everybody gets their sunscreen on, and we pack beers up into the cooler. We head out into the lake, start the boat up, then we take off to go to Jack's favorite fishing spot, I guess. And all 3 of them catch a fish while we are out on the water. Pretty dope. Got a picture of all of them holding their catches. And then I head back after the boat stalls, or we head back after the boat stalls for a little bit. The engine won't start up for like 20 minutes, and we're just kind of sitting there like waiting for the engine to sort itself out, and eventually it does. We get the boat started, head back to the house, we all shower and eat, we drink some more, and then we get dressed for going out to the casino. Also, I name a dragonfly. There's a dragonfly that lands on me as we're out on the... It sounded like something was making noise there. Okay, I'm losing my mind. Back to the story. There was a dragonfly that landed on my leg. I don't know where it landed first. It landed on me, essentially. And I was like, oh, cute, little dragonfly. I decided to name him. I actually don't know if it was a him or a her. I wasn't really checking the bits. But I assumed it was a guy, so I named him Gawain. And Gawain lands on my leg. So I pick him up, or not pick him up, but I sort of scooch my middle finger right underneath his legs, and he grabs onto my middle finger. And then I take a sweet picture of me flipping off the lake with the dragonfly on top of my finger. Anyways, we head out to the casino, and I win $1.25 after putting $1 into the penny slots. Moving on to 9:20 p.m., I lost $20 at the casino. Blackjack is always fun to play. I don't really even mind losing money at blackjack because it's just a fun game to play, I think. Eventually, we end up driving back and stop at a playground on the way to mess around. 12:45 a.m., we all get drunk, and Kelvin shows up. I think this is after we left the playground, went back to the lakehouse, and then we all get drunk, and Kelvin shows up to hang, and then Chud asks for weed. I give Chud a little bit of weed, and he ends up barfing like an hour or two later, which is unfortunate. I don't think it had anything to do with the weed. I think it certainly didn't help, I wouldn't say, but he just drank a little too much, I think, which is I think we've all been there, except for Penny. Penny does not drink, so she doesn't know what that's like, thankfully. She should probably stay as far away from it as possible. That is not fun. Drinking just a little bit too much can ruin basically your entire night. It's fucked up. I do go inside to take a shit and check on a load of laundry that has been persistently wet. Just won't dry. Anyways, moving on. 2:55 a.m. I shower for a while and I leave them outside. I get dressed in my jammies. And while I'm prepping for bed, Kelvin is talking to a girl that he has been seeing casually, maybe? Well, somewhere in between casually and seriously is what it sounds like. I'm also not a part of the relationship, so I do not claim to have any idea what's going on between the two. Yeah, there's at one point, this is weird, they're talking for a good long while, and there's a bunch of topics get brought up, but there's one point where she's like, hey, you know what? You can fuck other people as long as they're dudes. And Kelvin is like, okay. I'm paraphrasing. I can't remember what Kelvin actually said to that. A few minutes later, though, or I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes later, he does ask me for a kiss. I respectfully say, no, thank you. Usually I don't enjoy kissing guys. I am speaking from experience there. I've kissed one or two guys. It's never really a great experience. I don't care for it. I don't know. Girls are for me, I think. But anyways, question mark for this last entry. I go to bed not using the covers until I wake up a few hours later. I pull the covers up and head to bed. Whew. Okay, moving on. Set 71, day 2. Yeah, I'm going to have to start speeding the fuck up. We're only on day 2. Good lord. 12:45 p.m. I wake up slowly and make sure I have everything packed. Then I do some laundry and double check. Everything is packed. Head upstairs to find my charger, and Kelvin shows me the spot that he moved it to. 1 p.m. I also read I Am Legend throughout the weekend. I meant to bring the Cole Protocol with me, but I forgot the book at home. Probably for the best. I'm assuming somehow it would have gone, I don't know, dropped into the fucking lake or like ripped in half or just, knowing my luck. I'd rather just keep it at home. Safe and sound. But, yeah, literally next entry in the journal. But I guess it's good. I don't get to damage the book at all. Chapter 10 and 11 of I Am Legend are mostly about him researching the germ that causes the vampire infection, I guess. Or a virus. I don't know what it's technically called. I read the book, but man, that was like 3 days ago. You gonna tell me to remember a book I read 3 days ago? Fuck off. Anyways, I'm moving on to the next entry. If I could fucking find it. There it is. 1:45 p.m. Oh yeah. If you've seen the movie I Am Legend, there's a dog who's like a main character throughout the entire film. In the book, the dog shows up like halfway through the book and then dies the next chapter. It's like, oh, well, that's completely different from the movie. But anyways, after I get done reading chapter 13, we head back to the casino and I plan to lose more money. 6:20 p.m., I lost more money. Yesterday I was down $15 from my wallet. Today I snagged two $20 bills from Kelvin. I paid it all back I won some at the blackjack table, and I paid him back there, and then I also Venmo'd him some money. I walked away from the blackjack table with $25, and then I blew it all on the slot machines. In total, I spent $55 on the casino, and I lost $55 on the casino. Rest in peace. Then we head back to the lakehouse, pack up our stuff. 8:10 p.m., we drive back to Jack's apartment, and I read along the way. I stop after Chapter 17 of I Am Legend. Then I resume when we leave Jack's place. We are leaving Jack's place, I should say, to go out and eat some all-you-can-eat sushi. We drive a ways away, and I read another chapter. Then I wait to be seated. At this point, we had made it to the restaurant, and we were waiting in the waiting lounge of the restaurant. I was just reading. I read Chapter 18 of I Am Legend right there, it looks like. Moving on to 11 p.m., we get our food, and the cheese wontons are fucking incredible. Oh my god. I've never had more tasty wontons in my life. Moving on. We get home after that. Kelvin takes off from the house. Then Chud, Jack, and Charles go to sleep while I get dressed in a little bit warmer clothing, and I go for a walk. I was not tired at all. I think it was maybe a little after 11 when they all decided to turn in, and I usually go to bed at like 1 or 2 in the morning, so I still had a couple of hours to kill. I figured I was going to take a walk around town. So I took off from the house, and I came back about an hour or 2 later. There was a bridge that I had to cross to get where I was going, and I sat at the top of the bridge for like 5 or 10 minutes, just admiring the view, totally loner maxing. Somebody on Tinder just sent me a message. I'll have to check that out after I'm done recording. I'm also gonna set my shit into Do Not Disturb. I don't think that it vibrated at all when that notification came through, but I'm gonna silence it all the same. Let's see. I get back and I try to sleep for an hour or 2. Maybe get an hour or 2 sleep. Excuse me, let me try that again. I maybe get an hour. What in the world? Let me try that for a third time. I maybe get an hour or 2 of sleep. There we go. But that's about it. I do sit in my car before I head back into the house, just listening to oh my god, I'm fucking smacking the desk everywhere. I'm so sorry. But yeah, before I head into the house, I still know that I'm not tired enough, so I sit out in my car for like 30 minutes just listening to stuff, so I don't wake anybody up with my antics. Moving on, though, this is set 71, day 3, 10:40 a.m. I wake up. I try to get some more sleep after Jack takes Charles to the airport. 9:20 p.m. That's quite the jump there in time. We all wake up eating eggs and potatoes that Jack cooked up for us. We get ready for the day. I shit, shower, and brush. We take off to head to Walmart, and after that we go to a thrift store and a bookstore after. Then we go to another grocery store right next to the liquor store. Funnily enough, we also head into the liquor store. I buy, I think I mentioned this on an episode like a year and a month ago, somewhere around there. It was when I drove up to hang out with Jack and Charles. I don't know what episode number it is, so don't ask me, please. I would have to go back and research. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah. On that trip last year, I brought a bottle of Crystal Head vodka with me to the hangout space, and while we were in the liquor store around shopping around town, I should say, I noticed that there is the original bottle. I only have the LGBTQIA+ artwork bottle because I saw it was on sale in my store that I work at, and it was on like super sale, a little bit cheaper than, because the bottle I bought just the past weekend was, I think, $56. It was fucking expensive, and the one I bought last year was only like $30. But anyways, none of this matters. I'm going to go ahead and continue on now. 11:30 p.m. We watched The Never-Ending Story. It's a movie. We also watched the sequel. Then we also watched a bunch of other stuff. Oh, I have to burp real quick. Excuse me. Also, a Tinder match chickens out of meeting up with me. I go on the offensive, and I'm like, hey, you want to hang out? I'm totally down to chill. I'm doing nothing. I'm in town for the weekend. Radio silence. Of course, every fucking time. But anyways, me and Chud decide to take another little walksy poo, because Jack is going to bed pretty early. So we walk across the bridge, and Chud takes off to the house, into the walk. He's like, all right, I'm going to head back now. So I walk a little bit further until I walk across from a bar that recently closed. I chill across the street on my phone, just hanging out. Then I walk back, decide to wave at every car on the way back. This was fucking weird. I was just walking across. I think it was when I got to the bridge. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start waving at people. I don't know why. I just kept doing it until I got back to Jack's place. It certainly felt weird, but I also don't think it matters. I'm just going to move on. 12:40. Okay. Whoa. Let's try that again. 12:45 a.m. I return, grab my keys. I drive to the gas station, buy some extra toasted Cheez-Its, and then I drive to a strip club and hop in to use their bathroom. Grab a glass of water from them as well. The person who got me my glass of water was a very attractive lady. Oh my god. What a journal entry. In my journal, I wrote, I would love to put a lot of things inside of her. Great. Moving on. Oh, next entry. With her consent, of fucking course. Anyways, I take my cup, and a cup of water, I should say, and take off for Jack's apartment. I arrive and eat some Cheez-Its while looking through my hookup app. Nothing, no hits, no sex for me. 1:35 a.m. I can't wait to drive home and have sex with that 43-year-old woman that was waiting for me back home. Moving on, though. Monday, June 1st, set 71, date 4, 10:55 a.m. I wake up, shit, shower, brush, and pack everything up. I decide to grab breakfast with Chud and Jack, then take off for home after that. I did order 3 slices of French toast, and I got some donuts for the table, some mini donuts to share with Jack and Chud. Moving on, 8:30 p.m. I drive home after that. I forget my charging cable. Jack is, I think, mailing that to me sometime this week. But I do stop at a couple of gas stations and stretch to get the long drive out of my joints. It's annoying being cooped up like that. At one point at one of the gas stations, I change out of my long pants because it's getting warmer as I drive closer to my home. I don't know if I've named the cougar yet, but we're going to be calling her Penelope, I guess. We might end up having sex. I don't know yet. Madeline also wanted to watch a movie with me, so I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Moving on, 8:55 p.m. I cry a little bit after getting home. Great. Then again, I cry again a couple of hours later. Awesome. Desmond hits me up to play a game as I'm doing some laundry. I also read chapter 31 of the Cole Protocol. It's 2.5 pages long, another short one. 11:25 p.m. I play Minecraft with Desmond and Michael. Then I play some GTA. Then we all hop off. Question mark for this entry. No sex happens for the night. I drive out to her neighborhood just in case I get the invitation, but I get no invite. So I just kind of explore the neighborhood a little bit and then head back home to bed. I was super tired, so I'm moving on. Set 71, day 5, 11:25 a.m. I wake up, shit, shower, brush, and wake up before going to work. Or try to wake up, I should say. I dress and drive in, say hi to Tina, and ignore Anna. Then send Tina on her break. Moving on to 1:55 p.m. I match with someone at work, and we plan to watch a movie after I clock off. Also, I forgot to tell this, Tina is married. I think on the last episode I mentioned that I asked her to a movie, and then she texted back like a day or two later, and she was like, "Oh, I think I misunderstood. I am married." And I was like, "Oh, I had no idea you were married. I will look the other way." She politely declines my invitation to the movie, and I'm okay with that because the new match that I made at work, immediately it was like, "Yes, I want to go see a movie with you tonight after you clock off work." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds fun. I'll be out there at the theater. I'll meet you out there." Moving on, 10:45 p.m. I clock off after buying my date some soda and candy. Then I drive home, shave, shower, brush, and get ready for the date. I drive out and meet up with her. She's pretty cute. I ask if I can sling my arm around her. She says no, because the excuse that she gave, she was like, "I'm 30, and you're just a little younger than 30, Fulcrum. So I don't want all these people to see." I don't know. That was her excuse, which is bullshit. Fucking horse shit. I also don't know why that pause was so long. I was trying to think of what I was going to say next. I couldn't think of a fucking thing. Let's see. Anyways, we smuggle our food into the theater, get our tickets, and buy popcorn. Before heading in, we watch the movie. Oh, wow. I didn't even journal what movie it was. Penny's going to enjoy this. I went and saw Michael with her, or with my match that I made on, I think I made that match on Bumble, I want to say. But yeah, we went out and saw Michael. It was a pretty darn good movie. I'd give it like a 7.5, maybe, somewhere around there. 7.5, 8, something like that. Then we hug and say goodnight. I text her when I get back home, and we say that we should go out for drinks sometime. Then I read chapter 32 of the Cold Protocol. The music really wants me to, or really makes me want to replay Reach. I think I stopped journaling for the right there, but wait. What in the fuck am I talking about? Okay. I just lost my space. God, I'm fucking flipping around my journal like a madman. Okay, moving on. Set 71, day 6. I believe this should be the next set of entries. I believe, let me back up before we start this day of entries. I believe the previous day, before I went to bed, I want to say that I started playing Halo Reach and Penny joined, and we were talking a little bit to one another before I headed to bed. That doesn't sound right, but I'm gonna stick with that, I guess. Yeah. I go to bed, and then we move on to Wednesday, June 3rd, set 71, day 6. There we go. 4:10 p.m. I wake up, shit, shower, brush, and chill in my room. Play some Halo Reach with a match that I made on Tinder. She seems pretty cool. This is a new match, by the way. This has nothing to do with the person that I saw the movie with yesterday. Or at least yesterday in the context of the journal. You know. Anyways, I play some Baldur's Gate 3 with Miss Kenna. If you remember Miss Kenna, after eating some mac and cheese, we die a few times throughout the intro, and then she goes to walk her dogs. I read The Cold Protocol, chapter 33. She says that she will eventually be back. 7:30 p.m., I play some more Halo with the Tinder match that I made. We almost finish Reach. Then we decide to piss and stuff and grab some drinks and stuff and things like that. That's what I had journaled. Actually, I paraphrased a little bit. I'll give you the exact quote as written in my journal. Then we decide to piss and stuff and grab drinks and stuff and things like that. There you go. Moving on, 9:45 p.m. We finish Halo Reach and they take off for a little bit. Penny asks if I'm free to play some Baldur's Gate 3. So I say I am free now if you wanted to load it up. It does take a little while, but we load up our characters, and I also have some plans to play more Halo with that same match. A question mark here. I play 10 minutes of Baldur's Gate 3 with Penny, then swap over after the new match that I made invites me to an Xbox party. The girl that I saw Michael with is different. Yeah, I already mentioned this. The girl I saw Michael with is different than the girl that I was playing Halo and Baldur's Gate 3 with, which is also separate from Penny, who I also play Baldur's Gate 3 with. I might want to name them, but also I don't know yet. I gotta think of some names. Let's see. I played Baldur's Gate 3 with this new match until we finish the intro sequence. She leaves to play some Overwatch 2 with some friends, and I chill out for the rest of the night. Then I go to bed, and the cougar invited me to have sex with me while I was fast asleep. So unfortunately, I was not able to link up with her. Moving on though, Thursday, June. Excuse me. Let me try that. Try that one more time. Thursday, June 4th. Excellent. Set 71, day 7. 11:55 a.m. I wake up, shit, shower, brush, and get ready for work. I dress and drive in. I say hi to nobody and start cooking. I ignore the fuck out of Anna, of course. I also let the cougar know that I'm down to fuck if she's free for the night. I don't know. It feels kind of scummy, but it's also like, no, I'm trying to have some fun. You know, trying to make some shit happen. Moving on, 1:55 p.m. I take my break after a little bit at work, and Tina says, Tina told me to have fun on my break. Interesting. I don't even remember that. 3:45 p.m. I I end up in a pretty bad mood at work, but I didn't cry at all, so that's cool. I just constantly fucking think and cannot stop myself. Ain't that the truth? My mind just fucking think and think. I'm getting too excited and I can't speak. My mind is going to think a hole into itself. It's fucking crazy. 5 p.m. Wait. Nope. Back it up. Next entry is at 4 p.m. I cry a few minutes after typing that previous journal entry. Because I'm sad, I guess. I'm not really sure how to stop doing it, though. I would really like it to stop. Moving on, though, 5 p.m. I can't wait to go home. I'm absolutely done with today. 7:30 p.m. I clock off, drive home, and talk about my relationship life with Penny. I don't know why, but one of the questions takes me like 30 minutes of thinking to get my exact answer. And then it's like, I think it was after I sent it. Might have been in the middle of me, like, thinking of my answer. But it's like, yeah, I do remember specifically one other question that Penny asked me a while ago. I feel like it was probably like half a year ago at this point. But it was like I sat there and thought about the question for like 2 hours. And I was like, why can't I think of my answer? I was getting so upset. And I was doing the same thing here. Let's see. Yeah, one of the questions takes me like 30 minutes to answer. Next entry is just start crying while trying to think of my answer. I don't know why it takes me so long to just come up with fucking shit to say. Just say something, like anything. It's so much better than silence. Even saying, like, I don't know, it's a bit of a cop-out answer, but I feel like a lot of the times if I just say, like, I'm not really sure, I'd have to think about my answer. And I could ask, like, return the question, be like, what do you think? Let me listen to your answer and see if that'll shed any light onto my answer. But no, that would be the smart thing to do. Instead, I just sort of sit there staring at the question for like an hour or two and just start crying because I'm an idiot. And I don't know how to answer it. But anyways, this all sucks a lot to talk about. So I'm just going to move on to the next entry. Anyways, I take some screenshots in Halo 3 and I decide to read another chapter of the Cold Protocol. Chapter 34 is done. Yay. Then I run around in Halo some more looking for some screenshots to take. 2:30 a.m. Also, that girl that I played Halo with comes over to my place. We have some very, very great and awesome sex. Awesome. And then, yeah, she did come. Funnily enough, I didn't come. I had to wait about like an hour, and then I got excited again, and I just, okay, this might be a little bit TMI, but yeah, sometimes if I wait a little bit too long to pop the cork, it's just the moment's passed, and it's not going to happen, so I'll just wait, like, if I'm over at someone's place, I'll drive home. Usually, by the time I'm back home, I'm ready to jerk off. And that leaves me good for the night, but, anyways, she heads home, and I am really far too tired to record the episode, so I'd leave that, for after work tomorrow, which is when I am currently recording. Moving on, though, set 71, day 8? Wait, what? There ain't no fucking 8 days in a week. Someone get this fucking host out of here. Get someone who can actually do math. No, this is just because I was not able to edit and upload the video before I went to bed last night, so I'm just doing it right now, after work. Moving on, though, let me actually start reading the journal and stop giving you all the context. Set 71, day 8, 11:30 a.m. I wake up, I get dressed for work, and I drive in. I say hi to Ben and Tina while ignoring Anna yet again, and I get to work after clocking in. 2 p.m., thankfully, it doesn't take Anna long to fuck off. I work with Tina for the rest of the day, and moving on, 3:55 p.m., I wrote this in all caps in my journal. I said, I want to fucking go home and record the next episode. EP is what I type to shorten the word episode. Also, my dog is fucking going crazy. I wish he would stop barking, but he's just going to keep barking for a little bit, I think. Maybe not? God, he barks at literally fucking anything that walks past our front door. Even if they're on the opposite side of the street, he'll still fucking bark like a maniac. But anyways, we're moving on. 4:55 p.m. I do get a little teary-eyed today at work, but not a single one of them pops down onto my cheek, so I'm not going to count that as crying. I think there's enough crying going on as is, so yeah, I think I'll take any W I can set aside for myself. Moving on, though, 5:45 p.m. Clock off, race home, and I get ready to record episode 71, which is what brings me here right now, looking into this pop filter with the microphone behind it, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and end it now. The rating for this week, probably like it was a pretty fun week. Got to go and hang out with some of my boys. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 week maybe, somewhere around there. But anyways, the word count that I have journaled so far is 114,459 words journaled. Isn't that just crazy? So many words, and not a single one of them means a fucking thing. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm trying to say there with that statement. I wanted to say something cool, but it just kind of sounds vague and ambiguous without any context. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode because I sound like a fucking retard right now. Am I really making a podcast, or am I just jerking off?